Hola, welcome to this week's vlog. If you are tuning back in, my last vlog was our baby announcement, our little secret that we've been hiding for years, for millennia, for centuries, is now out in the open. And it really feels like I can finally be honest with you guys. It feels good to finally get that off my chest. I feel like I have not been my true self ever since I started my YouTube channel, because we've always been on the journey since I started my YouTube channel. And I can finally be my authentic self and really talk to you guys about what's going on every single day and what I'm doing for the baby and the nursery and how we're feeling as soon-to-be parents. And it's crazy, but now I can just be me, guys. I can tell you the truth. I'm free. I've been set free from the shackles of lies. But speaking of being free and telling you guys the truth, I do have all the details. I don't know if I should share all the details yet, but Chad and I are moving. We're moving out of this house that we purchased, our first home that we bought. After 3 years, we are moving. Chad just got a wonderful job opportunity in a different city, a city that we actually love because it holds our heart, our happy place. Y'all, we are moving to Orlando, 3 hours away. Okay, it is not set in stone. It is set in stone. Chad has not signed on the dotted line for his new position at work. It is, he would never toot his own horn, but I'm going to, because I'm obviously his biggest cheerleader. Chad got a promotion, okay? Chad Langford is now a medical director. Isn't that fancy? I'm like, are you a doctor manager? Are you a manager of other doctors? He's obviously very excited and he deserves it. You know, he's nervous and all that, but I'm like, you're gonna do just fine. So there is a lot that needs to be done. We need to be out of here the next couple of months. We have some time until we need to be there. I wanna say at the end of the summer, we need to be there. I don't wanna give too much timeline right now, but this week is crazy. Okay, right now I need to go to the mall if you guys want to come with me to get an outfit for Chad and I to go to Chad's sister's graduation up in Tampa. And we're gonna try our best to try and swing by at least one house to go rent in Orlando. We're not selling our house. We are trying to rent out our house here and then rent over there for a year and then see what happens. Interest rates are high, the market is weird. We were so happy when we bought our home because we got a good interest rate. I know people are like punching the air, like, what do you mean you got a good interest rate? We did. It was a little past the pandemic, in the midst. But I think we don't have enough time to properly sell our home, get the value we want, and then go find a home over there. It took us like a year to even find this house, and then like modernize it, customize it, personalize it to our liking. And I feel like I wasn't even done. I feel like I was at a comfortable place with how we had the house. Like, we have our hue lights and Alexa controls the whole house. We have a smart house. The lights change color inside and outside. Our sink is like Alexa controlled. We had it optimized to us. So with a baby coming, there's no way that we can do that. Literally, we would have to be there and the baby would come within like a month or two at the earliest. So, Alexa, stop. Sorry, there is what I call relaxing dog music for the dogs when I want to leave the house so they don't feel like they're by themselves. Before I ramble too much, we're gonna try and go see a house. This realtor is not calling me back. Girl, you need to call me because I need to go see the house on Thursday or Friday that we're going. We're trying to swing by Orlando on our way to Tampa. You know, you can't just, hey, I want to live here and not see it. Was it sight unseen? No. I can't do that. We can't do that. Absolutely not. But let's start off the week with going to the mall really quick. And then I'm going to go pass by getting some boxes because we're going to have someone come professionally photograph the house and do those like 3D tours. So when we put it up online, people have the best interpretation of what our home looks like possibly be their home for a year or more. Who knows where we're all going to be. So I need boxes to hide stuff because you can't just have everything. Like, you gotta hide pet stuff and you have to take things off the counters, and we really are kind of packed in terms of like storage. I can't really just hide things in closets because the closets are full. But that is my little update of what's happening now. We're probably 99.9% moving. We're having a baby. We need to go out of town. We need to get things photographed. We have to do up. Let's get out of the house before I get overwhelmed. And I will chat with you guys in a bit. Yeah. You guys, it's been a couple of days since we last spoke. I know we were supposed to go to the mall and we had to get some outfits and we had to prep the house, and we did. I haven't vlogged in a while, so I forget to pick up the camera when I'm out and about, but we did it. Chad and I have spent 2 days. Yesterday, literally for 13 hours straight, did we clean, prep, organized. Chad has basically repainted the entire house for it to be properly ready for photographing. It went really well. It went really well. If I had long hair, whipping it. I think it went well because the photographer, which apparently he's like, oh, I photographed the house down the road that was very beautiful. They remodeled it. Listen to this. He's like, oh, is this house staged? I'm like, no, it's our home. He goes, very beautiful, exquisite. He's like, I thought it was staged. I'm like, no, this is how we live. This is our home. Thank you so much. Honestly, the best compliment I could have ever received. He's like, look, I do this every single day. I photographs all type of homes, but this, he was like chef's kissing it, you guys. He thought it was beautiful. I was like, our humble little abode. Y'all, he said our house where we live, the Langfords, is beautiful. And I just always think that our house is just like this regular, humble home. Oh, it's just where we hang out on the couch. You know, all we do is just like watch TV and, you know, eat, cook, hang out, play with the animals. No, he thinks our home is beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks so much for working it, you know, a little high and low, you know, some nice furniture. But, you know, I just went to a thrift store the other day, got a new piece, spray painted it black, gave it the old Marco touch. He thinks it's beautiful. Okay, I'm exhausted. I need to go pick up the dogs because we took them to daycare because, hi, Amy. Oh, the cats they were stressed. Hi, girl. I need to get the house back together, but before I thought I would film a house tour because I've never done that, but I'm not gonna put it in this vlog because I feel like it'd be too long. So like and subscribe if you want to see the next one. Guys, I'm like shamelessly plugging myself in that if you don't keep watching, you're not gonna get the goods, okay? So before I gotta put things back, I gotta bring the dogs and put their beds back together, I'm gonna film a house tour. I think really just like cue, like not me, like not hey AD, not our, no, I'm just, it's gonna be a whatever long it is B-roll with some cute music of the house. Okay, Ami. No, I need to go make sure the cats are okay. Goodbye. morning. We are running late and we have to put gas. Chada's putting gas right now. We are on our way to Orlando to go see a house that we're really interested in living in for a year, renting out. Our appointment is at 12 and it's 9, so we're kind of cutting it close. That's 3 hours, right? 10, 11, 12, 3 hours. Yeah. So hopefully it's a nice house and we can just lock it in. Honestly, if we can just know where we're gonna live, then we can get movers ready, scheduled. Oh, side note, Chad officially signed his new contract for his job. So that's it. He received it yesterday, slept on it one more night, so there was still like a quick, we can stay here, we can forget all this hullabaloo, all the stuff that we did, and you know, it didn't happen. No, we are signed in, we're locked in, we're going, and we're literally going right now. So, oh, the camera's about to die, I gotta hit your battery. I will see you guys in Orlando. Maybe I can show you guys the house. I'll try it with my phone, okay? Okay, see you in a bit. Wow. Ceiling. For who?
Hair in like years. No, he does a rotation in Orlando. Alaska.
Oh, you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's headed your way. You guys, do I have a story time for you? This vlog is taking 2 weeks to complete because a lot transpired between The last thing you guys saw was us going to that Japanese garden. A lot happened the next day that I cannot not include into this vlog because it was groundbreaking, earth-shattering information. Okay, so I guess I forgot to talk about the house, right? So the house, not our house, the house that we went to go see in Orlando that you guys saw a few clips ago. So we liked it. We thought it was just right for us. It was spacious enough. The bigger issue was finding a house that can house all of our stuff. We have a lot of stuff. We have like 3 sofas, a bunch of beds, the nursery's basically halfway done, the dogs in an area, the cats need their own room. So we're like, man, we need to find a house at a good price that is in great condition, or at least a decent condition, that we can live in for a year. A year's a long time. You think, oh, it's just a year. Not really, especially not the first year of your child's life when you spend a lot of time at home. Whatever, we're like, this house is good. The bathrooms were a little, which is something that we should have, it was a red flag because it was in the listing. But you know, whatever, it's a house that family was, I think, mid-renovating, and they also were leaving for a job opportunity. So we're like, we get it, we can make it work. It has a pool, it's pretty central, it's got a good location, let's do it. So that happens. And we let the realtor know at the time, we're like, hey, we enjoy the house. Like, can we please, you know, put us on the list of we want it. So much so that when we left the house on our way to Tampa to Chad's sister's graduation, we did the application online. That costs money, by the way. I didn't know that was a thing. We did pet applications, which also costs money. I didn't know that was a thing either. And we're like, please let us know what you, like, if you get information. And that was at the end of the week, of that week. That was last week. Last week, I guess. Please get to us as soon as you can on Monday or whatever. And at this point, it's the following week, which is last week. And we're like, man, it's weird that this realtor, which I don't know if she was a realtor or the representative of this management company that manages the house, like the rental. And we're like, she hasn't gotten back to us. And usually in our experience with realtors, like, they're quick. They're like, let's get you on this house. Like, especially if you're buying a house, like, you need to put in your offer. So we think they're supposed to have this like shark mentality, like quick, like business savvy, let's get you in here, let's get this contract signed. Wasn't the case. We're like, man, the communication is so weird. So we let a few days pass. And we're just waiting around for any email or a text or a phone call saying, congratulations, you got the house. The owners agreed to the house, because we also wanted to make sure that they were okay with our 4 animals. So that has been a big issue too. You are renting someone's house, most people usually don't want pets in their rental, or 1 or 2, but we have 4. So, you know, we want to make sure that it's not a surprise when it comes time to sign the lease that, hey, there are 4 animals in the house. In the midst of trying to find a home, we get back the photos, the virtual house tour, the video that you guys saw earlier. A professional came to our house to do all of that, and we put our house on the market to rent, right? We're like, oh my God, this is so scary. What if someone doesn't rent our house? So we have all this pressure around us, whether or not, you know, what's the next step? What does our future look like? Is this house ours? It feels transient. Goodbye home for the last 3 years. At this point, our house is on the market, right? We're getting views, we're getting people bookmarking our home. We even have 1 showing scheduled for the end of the week. We're like, great, okay, it's a little nerve-wracking. We've never done this before, but we're doing it. So I reach out one more time to this representative from the management company. I'm like, hey, circling back, it's the weekday now. Did we get it? And this person's like, oh yeah, you definitely got it. The next step would be to send the deposit. And I'm like, send the deposit? Is the owner okay with our 4 pets? Yeah, definitely. You can send the deposit here. And I'm like, what? Okay, so what about the contract? But what about the contract? At this point, I have already asked her twice. I'm like, after she said okay, I'm like, great. Can we get the contract? And she's like, the deposit. So weird. And I'm like, waiting for her to send the contract so we can make sure that everything's okay. They're okay with the 4 pets, and in case we want to make like any amendments to the contract, and if we're okay with it, especially going into a lease for a home of that size. We want to make sure everything is crystal clear. We go to the Morikami Garden. That same day, we receive, she had already been vague all week, this representative from this management company. We get a random congratulations email that at the top of the email, again, it's like, oh, please send a deposit within 48 hours. Not send, please come drop off the deposit within 48 hours. There's no other way to do it in the form of a money order. You guys, we're 3 hours away. We're 300 miles away. We're like, that's so weird. We're not gonna put a house deposit that's, let's be real, thousands of dollars through the mail. Like, you can't insure that via FedEx. FedEx, do you do that? I don't think so. So something was already vibing off about the house, like her lack of communication. And again, it's not to speak bad about someone. I'm just being honest. This will later help us in the end, her lack of communication. So thank you, person. You'll see why in a minute. So Chad and I just sent her an email. We're like, hey, you know what? We thought about it, and we don't think that going with you or this company that has this home listed with you guys is something that we want to do. We're gonna go in a different direction. So we're like super sad that this house that we kind of already imagined this is gonna be our home for the next year, it's out of our hands and it's stressful to find another house. We have been looking at hundreds of houses and we're like, okay, let's try one more time. So that same night, that Thursday night, we find an amazing house. We loved it. It was a little out of the area that I kind of didn't want to live in, but it was close enough to Chad's job and close enough for me to be close to stores and all the things I need to get done while I'm at home. So we do another application, right? We're like, let's just apply, let's do it. The next morning, the realtor that is the representative of that house reaches back out to us and is like, hey, I saw your application, everything looks good. He goes ahead out of his way to go video the house because he's like, oh, if you guys want to come over the weekend, we're like, hey, we can't, we don't live there. He's like, no problem. He goes and sends us amazing videos of the house. We fall in love with the house. We're going, oh my God, this house is bigger than our house, which is like hard to believe, right? Nicer, newer. I mean, nicer in aspects of like the base construction is nicer than when we got our house and didn't modify it yet. But point is, the house is beautiful. We're ready to go. We liked it so much after seeing the videos that we were about to sign it sight unseen, what I just talked about earlier about not doing, because that sounds crazy, but we loved it. And finding a new home is like mattress or couch shopping for me and Chad. It is exhausting, but honestly, it had a yard, it was big, it had enough rooms, it had like a double living area on the second floor. The baby was gonna have an area, our mom's coming to visit, we're gonna have an area. It was like perfect for us. Sign us up. Amazing. So that is Friday, right? As Friday morning, as we're like, oh, this is it, we love it, we need it. And we think, okay, let's just tell the guy that we're interested and he'll get back to us. Which again, he was gonna get back to us because of the whole pet thing. Again, we're like, hey, we wanna make sure that this owner as well is okay with 4 pets. And he's like, I'll get back to you. That's been the whole like limbo area of we're asking about the pets, they're gonna get back to us. That Friday is also the day of the showing. So I'm running around the house, getting the house clean, hiding all the animal stuff, making beds, I'm dusting, vacuuming, I'm wiping down surfaces. And it's around noon and the showing is at 3. Chad calls me and he says, cancel everything. I'm like, huh? So I'm like, honey, what do you mean cancel everything? You guys, hold on. I'm sweating talking about it because it's a lot. Chad says, the deal is off. The group that Chad works for, his physician group, will no longer be working at that hospital in Orlando because the hospital did not sign the contract with his doctor, hospital, whatever you call it, his physician group. The deal is off. I'm like, what do you mean the deal's off? You already signed your contract. Shouldn't have their contract been signed first? Chad's like, yeah, that's what I said too. And even when he was like doing his like onboarding paperwork-ish, because it's not like a new job, it's literally just a transfer promotion, he was like, oh, I found it kind of strange that that wasn't signed. But the recruiter was like, oh no, that's like a 1% chance that, you know, it could fall through. Do you mean 100% chance that it can fall through? And didn't I just say that we were 99.999% sure that we were moving? No ma'am. No ma'am. So at this point we're dumbfounded. We're like, did this really happen? Did we really put, and this is like a month in at this point, you guys. We had already gone to Orlando with like a few days notice. Chad interviewed, his job put us up in a hotel. We put the dogs in doggy daycare for the weekend. We even saw 2 other houses when we went to go interview to already take advantage of the fact that we were already up there. We had already told all our friends, our neighbors, family. We had friends and family both mourn and excited for our move. Like people, you know, we're moving away, we're moving closer. People could come visit us in Orlando, there's Disney. You know, we're creating this whole new life and idea of what our future is gonna look like. And then on the day of our first showing, it kind of just came crumbling down. And on the same day that we may have found the perfect house for us to start our journey, our life adventure, this chapter in our life, is also like, what? It's crazy. So we let the weekend pass. It's now Tuesday, just to make sure like it was a concrete thing. And guys, it's really off. The deal is off. We still don't know a lot of details as to why it happened. All we know is they just didn't sign. And I don't think I'm giving too much away because that's literally what was told to Chad and what Chad told me. So it's so weird. We put so much time, energy. I mean, to get the house ready for the pictures was crazy. The cleaning, the hiding. I mean, we had to pay doggy boarding to go up there. We had to pay for the photographs and the virtual tour, all this stuff. And just like the effort and the emotional and the hours, like looking for a house. And I even got Chad like a new outfit for his interview. And the time that I can imagine Chad's put into this is crazy. And then for it, I don't want to say it's in the 11th hour because we still had a couple months to be there. But it kind of was, and everything was like a done deal. They had already hired, like, Chad told me, like 40 people to go work there, and now it kind of just blew up. So Chad wasn't the only victim, is what I'm gonna say, but it kind of sucks. And now I feel terrible for Chad, mostly because he got this amazing opportunity, this promotion, which he totally deserves. From what I can understand, Chad is one of the best people at his job, and I believe it. I'm not there every day. And then I feel bad that they hurt the person that I love the most and I care about the most. It's like, I want to go beat you up. Like, who am I gonna go beat up? You know, like, I'm not gonna do it. Just kidding. I do like no violence, but I want to go. You know, I want to give them a word or two about how I feel and how they made my husband feel, and what they did to him, to us, to everything. Our whole life, our whole universe that revolves around us was like thrown into like this tornado of emotion. When you're like gonna move your entire family, your entire life to a new city as your baby's gonna get here, and then you're like, just kidding. So we almost lost our home. So back to that lady from the matchmaking company that took forever. It was probably a blessing in disguise that she took long and didn't get that house signed, and that we didn't send her thousands of dollars or drive up there to deposit a check, because it would have been non-refundable and it would have been breaking the lease if it would have worked any sooner. So it's crazy how the universe works. So it was like a blessing in disguise, where if she would have been on top of her game, we would have been locked into a year lease and then broken the lease, and who knows, they could have been like, well, too bad, you owe us 3 months rent or something. And same with, I was about to show the house to a prospective family that could have fallen in love with their home, thought, hey, that house is perfect for us, and then be like, just kidding. So now we're kind of trying to get, like, we're in this like healing recovery mode where we were so ready and we had this idea of what our new life would look like, and now we're kind of mourning it in a way. I mean, we're happy, obviously we still have a home and Chad still has his amazing job and we're gonna be fine, but it was like a roller coaster. I think, honestly, I told Chad a few times, I think this has been one of the most stressful moments of my life, just emotionally, because what the transition would feel like and what it would take to get there. But I guess that's life, right? You kind of have to get uncomfortable. Things need to get a little messy so you can live. So here we are, post life upside downness, and now we don't know what's gonna happen. Are they gonna come back to us, chat in a few weeks, in a month, in 3 months, in 6 months, and say, hey, the deal's back on, the hospital does need you and your team? We don't know. I thought it was the best time to do it right before the baby, honestly, because I don't know what moving with a newborn would look like. And obviously, we'll have a support system either way, but the time was just perfect. And now, kind of in a little bit of a limbo. Again, we need to live and assume like it's not gonna happen ever, but it's still, I don't know, it still might. And it sucks because I know Chad was really excited. He was definitely nervous and he wasn't super happy about the change, but I know deep down inside he was super excited and ready. I know you were hanging. I'm watching you because I know you're watching me. And I was just proud of him, and he was proud of himself, which is, I think, the saddest part. But you did it, honey. I am proud of you. I could not be more proud of you. You make me proud every single day. You are the brightest star in the sky to me. And when one door closes, another one opens. So don't worry about it. Something good will come for you because you've earned it and you deserve it. But until then, we're gonna hang out in our awesome house, you know, in our cute nursery that we designed, the wallpaper. We did a custom closet for our daughter. We'll be fine. We'll be fine just here. And we love our house and we love the area that we live in. So it's not gonna be awful staying in South Florida. But that was it, y'all. Crazy update. And now you're like, what? I hope you guys were sitting when I started this story. Because it was a lot for us, so I'm sure it was a lot for you. But I think I'll close out this vlog with that because I'm sure you can't take any more because I don't think I could give any more at this point. Okay, I love you guys and I'll see you next week. I think we're gonna talk about more baby stuff, yeah? Okay, bye!